Hi, Tom Coley, coach for Steve Taylor and his Community Connection, and I'm here with two wonderful ladies, very beautiful, very talented. Kari Bucher and Fancy Moreland, is that correct?
That's correct.
And superstar Terry Crosby's on the end. We never forget about the superstar. Ladies, Crosby and I are so excited about having you here today because you're doing something very different in our community. I think Toledo is always trying to improve, get better, find new options of things to do. And when I heard Toledo Night Market, and don't be mad at me for this, but when I first heard it, I'm thinking tomatoes, cucumbers, vegetables, I'm thinking market,
Right.
And that is not what this is at all. So ladies, tell me, Kari, tell us what this Toledo Night Market is.
We actually rent out the Toledo Farmers Market, so we're just using their venue. We're not, none of the vegetable vendors are there. Ours is more artisan and small businesses
Right.
that are selling their products at the Toledo Night Market. These are people who have passions, they have talents, they have something that they can share with others, and we're giving them a platform to do that.
Very, very cool. And Fancy, I love your name.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's such a cool name.
And it's fitting.
Yeah. But Kari's a great name also.
Okay, all right.
I'm good with that both ways. But Fancy, when is it open? When is it going to start? Kind of give us a little more additional information.
Sure. So the kickoff started in May. So it's at the Botanical Garden.
Yes.
We do that in conjunction with the Artist Village.
Okay.
Their sale in May. And then the first night market is next weekend, actually, June 17th. We do a monthly market from June through September. The dates are on our Facebook page, but it's June 17th, July 29th, August 26th, and September 23rd.
Can you give us that? Could you give it us now? Just.
Well, it's Toledo Night Market on Facebook.
You know what? Even I could find that.
Yeah, it's super easy.
And China knows that
Yeah.
Cross is much more technical than I am, and Cross has no technical ability. So that tells you where I am. So ToledoNightMarket.com. I'm thinking we can get that done.
Yeah.
So, Cross.
I'm all about relationships. I really am, and I think that's what is very important in our lives, that we build relationships. I want to know how you two actually know each other, got together, doing business together, and moving forward on this.
Wow. Okay. Well, we worked together.
Okay.
Fancy actually had gone to night markets in a couple of other cities. Had this idea. We both were kind of going through some life changes, and came to me and said, "Hey, do you want to do this? Do you want to make it happen in Toledo?" And I was like,
Fantastic.
"Sure, let's do it, and we'll give it a try." And just started planning it, the two of us, and we have a core of volunteers that are wonderful who have bought into the idea of making this happen for Toledo, and they've really been able. With their help, we've really been able to do this.
Okay, with the planning process, so how long did you guys kind of negotiate and organize everything before you actually kicked it off?
I think it was about 4 months, 5 months.
Yeah.
Probably January of 2019. And then the first night market was May of 2019.
Right.
Yeah.
You ladies are obviously extremely bright and entrepreneurial, but anytime you do something different, Toledo's a great city, great town, been here my whole life, fantastic. But sometimes doing something that's different can, you get a little, we never did that before, and did you run into some resistance there?
Oh yeah, oh big time. There was a lot of people that didn't believe that it was gonna happen.
Right.
And we just kept, and Fancy's a force of nature, so she just kept moving forward, and this is gonna happen, it's gonna work.
Right.
Positive attitude, and we want it to be right. It's gotta feel right to us, and we've got
And we gotta be
standards in our
having
head.
fun, too.
Yeah, we gotta be having fun, and we just
Right.
said, we'll keep doing this
Yes.
as long as we're having fun doing
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, you're creating something unique in downtown, and I know the response has been very positive. Has that surprised you ladies that it's been so positive?
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. I can remember that first night market that we had at the Toledo Botanical Garden in May of 2019. We had never done it, and we were just, you're set up, you do all this work,
Yeah.
months of planning, and then it's time, and you're like, is anybody gonna show up? I mean, it's literally going through your head, whether you say it or not.
Yeah.
And when the cars started rolling in, and it filled up, and it was it was a perfect evening.
Oh, fantastic.
It was just, you're just like, okay,
Yeah.
we can breathe a little bit. And then the comments on Facebook was like,
And
oh
the
my
news
God, this,
always shows up. And,
yeah.
Was that, when it happened for you ladies, did you just exhale? I mean,
Yeah.
was that like, okay, this is gonna work?
Yes.
Was it that kind of feeling?
Yeah. Yep. And then kind of the same thing because the Toledo Farmers Market is our main venue.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so same thing, the first one, that first June in 2019 when we had it downtown. And again, you're kind of, okay, are people gonna come down?
Yep.
We think downtown Toledo is awesome and we
Right.
love to go to different events there. But are people gonna come? We had a great Facebook response and good weather and all that. And again, there was people, it opened at 6 o'clock and there was people lined up at 5:30 waiting to get in. So again, you could just kind of breathe and say, okay, this is an idea that people are grabbing onto.
Yeah. It feels good to know that people look forward to it, and we have.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, and it's a fun event, and we make sure I want it to be something that I would like to go to.
That you're
So
proud,
that's
that
how-
you're proud of.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you ladies obviously are very cognizant of, it's gonna be something that you, integrity-wise, feel good about. And it's family-oriented, you know,
Yes.
which is another very, very positive thing for our community. So that's extremely cool.
I wanted to just elaborate on the fact that it's so important when you guys have events. I would really appreciate if you share it with us because, you know, as you realize, we have different platforms.
Yes.
You know, I have a platform, and I think the more people that you share your events with and what you're doing in the community, the better for you, because I will get it out there.
Yes.
Everybody wants to be entrepreneurial. Unfortunately, about 8 out of 10 businesses that start don't make it. Not because it's bad, it's just, it's so difficult to do.
Right.
You ladies are doing it, you're being successful. What advice would you give anyone who's they have an image for something in their mind they'd like to do? What couple of things would you tell them that if you want to be successful, here's what you might think about doing?
I think just go for it. They think I'm crazy sometimes because I'll have an idea
Yeah.
and I'm like, okay, we're gonna do this. Are you sure? I'm like,
Yeah.
I see it, and
Right.
you know, you just never know. So if you have an idea or a dream, you start. You just go for it.
No fear, you just put it out there.
Yeah, you know.
And it
no
doesn't
complaints.
seem, Kari, correct me if I'm wrong, but see, a lot of times people are afraid to put ideas out. Like I'll sit in meetings and
Right.
somebody will have a great idea, but they're afraid to put it out because maybe the boss isn't gonna think it's a good idea, or somebody doesn't like it, or somebody says something, so they keep it to themselves. I have a feeling that Fancy puts those ideas out there. Am I right on this?
And the rest of us are just there to make sure that to execute the ideas.
So Fancy
Yes,
says,
yes.
here's the idea,
They
guys.
trust me a little more now.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
We do.
Not that they
Well,
ever.
and the ideas, you have to come up with something unique.
Yeah,
There
right.
has to
I get
be some type of catch, some type of
Some kind of hook, right?
some type of hook that,
Yeah.
that grabs people in and makes it important to them. Because truthfully, on a weekend in the summer, there is a ton of things people could be doing.
Competing against
There's a lot of
right?
competing
Yes.
ideas. So you got to bring something a little unique to the
Right.
table. You got to have a built-in audience. We do
Yes.
with all of the hundreds of vendors that we work with. They have a built-in audience. They create reach for us. I think once people come, they see that it's fun and that it's a good event, and then we try to make each one different. It's not the same artisans. It's not the same food
Got it.
trucks. It's not the same band, and it's not the
Nice.
same craft beer. So if you come in June, it's going to be a different market in August.
Yeah, and that to me would be a real draw,
Yes.
because you're always expecting something different, which is extremely cool. Ladies, Steve Taylor are so proud to have you here. It's nice to meet such bright, beautiful, entrepreneurial ladies. And what's the date that it opens up downtown?
June 17th.
June 17th. And Fancy says,
6 to 11.
be there, or it's going to be a problem, right, Fancy? Yeah. Fancy may come to your house and find you if you're not there. I just tell you right now, it's got to happen. Ladies, we're proud of you. It's going to be a major success. And thanks so much for being with us.
Thanks for having us.
Awesome. Thanks
Our
for
honor.
having us.
Tom Cole for the Steve Taylor Community Connection.